Welcome to Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Dr. RC will empower, encourage, and strengthen you. She will help you to soar to your highest potential while instilling hope. Please welcome the host of Dare to Soar, Dr. RC.
As we step into the holiday season, a season full of expectations, emotions, and endless demands, it is time to pour back into you. Join me for a powerful packed solo episode. Yes, you're just going to be with me this morning. The title of the show for this morning is Rise Refreshed, Reclaiming Your Strength, Joy, and Power Through Holiday Self-Care. Guys, this is just not a conversation about slowing down. It's a conversation about rising up, stronger, clearer, and more grounded than ever. Inside, you'll get motivational insights to help you face the season with confidence, research-based strategies to strengthen your resilience, stories, examples that are going to remind you about your body, your strength that you're going to be facing as we go into this holiday season. You know, this holiday marks a joyful and a magical time full of peace for many, but it also is a season where you're going to sometimes feel exhausted. You're going to have your highs, your lows, the pressure of high, and the expectations as well. But we want to keep it all on a high pressure because we don't want you to become overwhelmed. But it's going to happen. Trust me, it is. I'm going to feel it myself because we are all human. This is a season where we want you to be able to show up, but just not for everyone else, but for yourself as well. Because guess what? We're going to be wrapping gifts. We're going to hold for the families. We're going to support your students if you're working systems. We're going to care for community, but we're going to pour into every cup while silently asking ourselves, when is it time for me to just breathe? But today, I want to tell you something boldly. Your turn is now. This is a time for you to refresh, but time for you to reclaim your strength, your joy, your power, right in the middle of the holiday hustle. Because self care, and hear me clearly, it is not selfish, it is strategy, it is survival, it is strength. And today's Dare to Soar message is not about slowing down, it's about rising up. It's about being motivated and centered and ready for what's ahead. So, with that being said, great Saturday morning, Eagle family. It's me, Dr. RC. And yes, you are tuned into Dare to Soar. And before we get started, I just want to point out a few things that you're going to be witnessing. In today's hour session, I'm going to be sharing with you some motivational truths for yourself. It's going to be backed up with some mindset shifts that I'm going to be sharing, some real life examples. I'm going to be energizing you. That is my goal, with some self-care tips, mental wellness, and just the holidays as we get into those as well, because I want you to feel energized. So, going to give you that energy by the time you leave. I started to do a little something different today, but as I thought about it, and I wanted to give you this a bit early because the holiday, the Christmas season is coming up so quickly. We just finished with Thanksgiving, and you know, Christmas comes so quickly. So, with that being said, I want to get started by doing just a bit of a grounding moment with you. So, let's breathe, let's reset, and let's rise together. And I know that I can't see you, but I'm going to feel you. I feel your energy. So, let's begin by taking a pause. I want you to take a brief, deep breath. And if you're driving, don't do this, but just listen to my words. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a second, and then release it. And I want you to do it once again. Take a deep breath in, hold it, inhaled, and exhale all of that tension from the week and release it. Let's do that one more time. Take it in, hold for a second. One, two, three, and release it. As you do that, you think about all the strength that you have inside of you and all that you're releasing from the week that you've had. You're releasing all of those stressors. Let it all go. I want you to feel relaxed. Let all that tension go. The weight that you may have been feeling. Now you're feeling refreshed and you're prepared because you deserve a moment where you can reset and you deserve to be renewed. And that's the purpose of having that structured moment in time. Oftentimes, when we're in the hustle and the bustle of everything, we don't give our times to be renewed, to be rejuvenated. Whether you're single or have families or a significant other, we continuously go, 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 go each and every moment of the day. And because we do that, we don't allow ourselves to just take a breath, or sometimes we call it just to take a beat or just land. And that pressure builds up. And before we realize it, we're feeling that exhaustion all in our shoulders. It may even come across your eyes or even in your facial muscles. And it's important for us to do that. It's important for us to allow that structural moment to just be released so we can get that breath. So as we go on, as I said, the holidays are coming upon us. So I'm going to let you settle in on that. It is time for a commercial break. And when we return, we'll proceed on with the show. I'll be right back.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Welcome back, Eagle family. It's me, Dr. RC, and yes, this is Dare to Soar. So as we continue on with Rise, Refresh, and reclaiming your strength, joy, and power through holiday self-care. Yes, self-care is important. This is the time to rise and refresh yourselves. So I want to continue on with talking about the real holiday pressure. And I'm saying pressure, but this is just a time that you deserve to kind of just mellow out and relax yourselves as much as you possibly can. Just take those pivotal moments for yourself. So let's talk about the truth of it all about this season. not the package version, but we see commercials and we know we kind of whenever we can get it in there, but the real version of it, the one that lives behind closed doors. And I chuckle about that because I'm living the same lives or similar lives that each and every one of you are behind the smiles and the behind the I'm fine, because we are all, someone would say, how are you doing? I'm fine. And we keep moving about our days behind so many whispers and the clenched teeth that we do. But let me tell you, according to the American Psychological Association, 38% of adults are reporting significant increase in stress during the holidays. And it's true, because sometimes we feel the pressure of we have to get a gift for this person or that person, or we're cooking meals or making sure that everything is done, especially if you have relatives or friends or preparing for parties, etc. Those type of things that you have to get done or you feel the need to get done during this time of the season. And nearly 1 in 3 say that the season drains them mentally. And we all feel that pressure. And it's about our mental health. For many, the holidays don't feel like a break. And we can all attest to that because we're human beings. We're in the flesh. They feel like it's a performance. So let's talk about why that is. Is it financial pressure that we feel? Between gifts, travels, just like I just shared, events or food and expectations, the holiday price tags gets louder, grows louder than the carols themselves. You know, studies show that the Americans on average oh, pay more than 1,300 in the holidays. Wow, that's a lot, especially right now with the demographics that we have across the country. Every debt used and many spend in the next are going to spend in the next months or right now try to recover in the next 6 weeks for celebrations. The motivation truth is you're not obligated to go broke to prove your love. And let me say it again, you're not obligated to go broke. Your presence is a gift, being a part of the festivities, but your peace is priceless. And then there's family expectations as well. I shared about that, the participation. Families come with traditions, and we know that to be true as well. Dynamics, old roles, and sometimes unresolved histories as well. And the holidays have a way of magnifying that. Every single one of them do. Research on family systems tells us that stress spikes when people return to environments, when it feels makes you sometimes feel powerless. So if you feel this tension around certain gatherings, you're not imagining it. It is a reality, and we know this. You're not overreacting. It's not, as I said, a figment of your imagination. It is true. You're not responding to an old emotional memory. And then we know that grief surfaces at this time as well. These are the realities that we live with each and every day. For those who may have lost someone during the holidays, all of these things are resurfacing, and it is a reality. Less about what's present and more about what's missing. An empty seat, for example, a voice that is absent, a tradition that ends. Grief doesn't take a holiday off, and it truly doesn't. It still remains. In fact, it is often returns, and it becomes louder when the holidays come. It's like an echo, if you will, or just overcommitment as well. Holiday calendars fill up so fast, even if you're in your work environments or school environments, church programs, family gatherings, workplaces, celebrations. And before we know it, we are sprinting from one obligation to the next obligation or to another and another, completely disconnecting from our own needs. And therein lies what we're talking about right now, self-care. This research is evident, it is clear. We're multitasking. And while fatigue increases, our stress, our hormones as well, reducing the emotion and the capacity that we have. And here it is. We're being drained and our resilience is depleting. Then there are emotional triggers as well. The holidays bring back memories, some beautiful, some painful. Old wounds, old patterns, unresolved tensions as well, and unspoken expectations rise to the surface. These are things that we have to be careful of. The demand to be on and non-stop as well. You see, this season asks us to smile even when we're tired. And we tend to do that. We show up even when we're empty. We try to keep pouring even when our own cup is dry. And for helpers, such as educators, social workers, caregivers, and community leaders, we keep going and going, just like we're a diehard bunny. We keep going. You've seen that commercial. The little bunny just keeps going and going and going. The pressure is doubled because people look to you to hold everything together. That's the expectation. It is true. Then there's the myth, that myth that everyone else is happy. But let's break this illusion wide open. You see, social media sells that highlight reel. What a a correlation. Perfect families matching pajamas. We see that on social media all the time. Beautifully decorated homes and endless cheer. But real life is mix of joy and exhaustion, celebrations and struggles, gratitude and grief. You are not alone in feeling this. We're all in this together. Feeling overwhelmed. You are simply human. I want you to embrace this and the reality of it. We don't always have to perform or put on a show. We're human beings. But guess what? There is hope. And here's the motivational shift. Here is where we reclaim the narrative. And I want you to hear me clearly. Here's where we're going to reclaim the narrative. Holiday stress is not a flaw. It is not a flaw. It is a reflective of how deeply you care, how deeply you care, how deeply you love, how deeply you give, how deeply you show up for others. And caring deeply is truly a strength, not a weakness, not a burden, not something to apologize for. But a strength needs support. A strength needs rest. Strengths need nourishment, and strengths need you fully present, not depleted. It is time for a commercial break. I will be back to continue that motivation. Don't go away. I'm going to bring you up. I know I gave you a lot to pull down, but I'm getting ready to pull you right on up as I promised. I'll be right back after this commercial break.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back once again, Eagle family. It's me, Dr. RC, and of course, this is Dare to Soar. Rise, refreshed, talking about the holidays. This is a show I wanted to do a little earlier on in the month. The holidays, the Christmas holiday comes, sweeps in so quickly. But I didn't want to wait until what I like to consider or call the 99th hour to bring this in. I gave you a bit of research, some information, sharing about how things kind of progress during the month and how we get in the hustle and bustle of everything that comes on. I gave you the motivational shift right before the break. Now I want to talk about the motivational pivot, if you will. So today we shift the energy. Today we interrupt that cycle, and I want to interrupt that cycle. Today we choose a new truth. This season will not run you. Hear me clearly, guys. It will not run you. We're going to shift, we're going to pivot. We talked about the shift. You will not lose yourself trying to please everyone else because it's about you. And if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. You'll not sacrifice your peace or performance. This year, you reclaim the season on your terms. And we're going to build that together, step by step, breath by breath, truth by truth. Guess what? You can't pour into an empty vessel. You are the vessel. You can't pour into it if it's empty. You can't pour into it. So you have to have motivational insight. Many of us grew up hearing you can't pour from an empty cup or pour into an empty cup, if you will. So today I want to take that truth just a bit higher, if you will, just a bit higher. Understanding higher in compassion and higher in accountability. But that accountability is going to be to ourselves. Did you catch that? It's going to be to ourselves. A lot of times we give accountability to others, so we're going to give it back to we're going to take it back and put it into ourselves. Because those of us who give and give and give, whether we're on our jobs, say if we're in a system, we may give it to those that we work with. We may give it to students, for example. We may give it to our families. We may give it to our colleagues or our communities. We give it to everyone else except for ourselves. It's not just about the cup being empty. Not just about the cup being empty. You cannot soar without wings that are exhausted. You cannot rise in a spirit that is drained. You cannot lead when your heart is running on fumes. Did you catch that? You cannot soar with wings that are exhausted. You cannot rise with a spirit that is drained, nor can you lead when your heart is running on fumes. And you certainly cannot carry others if you haven't checked to see whether your own strength is still intact. When the holidays push people into shutdown mode, I once worked with a social worker. You guys know that I'm a social worker. So when I once worked with a social worker who told me, Dr. RC, during the holidays, I shut down emotionally just to get through it. And of course, I was just pondered and perplexed. I said, And I remembered looking to her and saying gently, you're not shutting down because you're weak. You're shutting down because you're overwhelmed. But here's the truth. She didn't even realize that. She had to really think about that. And some of us often have to think about things like that. Shutting down is not protection. It's a sign that your soul is waving a flag and saying, please slow down and see me. Please slow down and see me. Because you see, emotional shutdown happens when the nervous system becomes overloaded. Think about it. When your nervous system becomes overloaded, your body is going to tell you something before anything else happens. It is. Because if it were up to us, we'll keep going and going and going. The body says, I cannot keep absorbing this. I need a break. I can't keep absorbing this. I need a break. This is not a failure. This is not fragility. This is physiology. Physiology. It is. But when we look at research, simple and clear, motivational. Research from the University of California shows us that chronic emotional overload leads to this: decreased concentration. And I want you to think about this as I'm sharing this with you: heightened irritability, lowered immunity system. Can't you feel yourself? You may feel like you might have a cold coming on, or your allergies sometimes act up or begin to act up. It's faster burnout. You may feel yourself getting more fatigued or tired, and a decrease in what psychologists call emotional bandwidth. All of these things, I want you to ponder over that for a moment. All these things begin to happen. Another study from the National Institute of Mental Health found that prolonged stress literally shrinks the brain's capacity for problem solving and emotional regulation. Now, as I'm sharing this with you, just think about how you process things your own self. And when you're really tired, how your body reacts and your mind as well, how all of those things impact this. Isn't it funny as you reflect on it, how this actually happens? So when you feel tired, you get foggy or numb, or it's, and it's really not in your imagination. It actually happens. It's not you being lazy. It's just your body telling you, or your mind telling you, hey, it's those signals firing off to tell you you need this. And it's not you being dramatic. It's actually what is occurring. It's your brain saying, I need to be restored. So I don't want you to ignore these things. So here are some real life examples as well. I also remember another educator sharing this with me. Oh, it's time for a commercial break. So I don't want to go into that story, but I will share it with you when I come back. It's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back once again, Eagle family. Yes, this is Dare to Soar, and I am Dr. RC. Right before the break, I was sharing with you some research breakdowns, and I just wanted to go back over them a little bit again. They're simple and clear, just some uplifting things for you to think about. And with that research, two things I shared with you. One thing, research from the University of California that talked about that chronic emotional overload leads to a couple of things: a decreased concentration, heightened irritability, lowered immunity system, faster burnout, and a decrease in what psychologists call emotional bandwidth. There was another study from the National Institute of Mental Health found that prolonged stress literally shrinks the brain's capacity for for problem solving as well and emotional regulation. And then I went into, so when you feel tired, foggy, or numb, it's just not your imagination. I wanted to be clear about that and wanted you to kind of ponder over that. It's not laziness. It's not being dramatic either. So just so there's no confusion about that, it truly is the brain saying, I need restoring, not ignoring. Not, I don't need restoring. I need restoring, not ignoring. And then I was getting ready to share with you a real life story. And I like to share real life stories just so there is a clear connection so that you know that the examples or the research that I'm giving you, you can bridge the gap together. That I feel that that is important. The research that I give you, you can go back and also always look at it or look it up for yourself. That is critical so that you know that what I'm sharing with you, it is definitely factual. That's why I always believe in sharing with you where the information is coming from. So here is the real life example. I remember another educator that I was speaking with who told me by mid-December or so, I'm completely drained. And we know that when you're working in systems, this is the time that you can really get drained because things become heightened, if you will. My smile would automatically, it became like, whoo, but my spirit is exhausted. And this is, I'm recalling what they were sharing with me. And I said to the educator, you've trained, you've trained your face to pretend, but your heart has stopped participating. And it is true because you've done this routinely since the beginning of the school year. Although you know you're kind of halfway through at this point, we don't do that, don't we? We keep showing up, we keep producing, and it's a routine. We keep performing, we keep carrying because that's what you're trained to do. You keep going and going and going, just like I shared with you a bit earlier. Meanwhile, the most important part of us, that part feels we continue to breathe, we instill hopes, we instill dreams, but in actuality, we're running on empty because you routinely keep doing that. But guess what? You got to, you want to motivate. And that's what I do. I motivate. Here's the motivational shift. Today, I want to give this educator something. So listen closely. Every time you choose yourself, every time you want to continue on, you strengthen the version of you. Because the world needs you most. Let me repeat that. You choose you because someone listening needs to feel their spirit. And that is true. Every time you choose yourself, not somebody, not someday, not eventually, not when the kids grow up, not when the work slows down, but today. And I do mean today, this very moment, you strengthen the version of you that the world needs most. And you have to remember, you are important. Just I shared with you earlier, you can't pour into an empty cup. You can't. If you were to pick up a cup and you saw nothing there, what can you give from nothing? You can't give anything from nothing. You can't. If you flip it over, nothing is going to come out. You have nothing to give. You're going on fumes. You can't go off of fumes. You need something to hold on to, something to pour. You have to hold on to something, some type of energy. And if you can't give yourself that energy, you have nothing to give to anyone else. So I ask you right now, where in your life are you pouring more than you are receiving? I want you to think about that. Let me say that to you again. Where in your life are you pouring more than you are receiving? Let me take it a little further. Where in your soul, where is it in your soul are you waving a flag saying, please slow down and see me? Where is that? Is it rest? Is it joy? Is it boundaries? Is it silence? Is it nourishment? Is it connection? Let me say that to you again. Is it rest? Is it joy? Is it boundaries? Is it silence? Is it nourishment? Is it connection? I want you to ponder over that. And if it's any of those things, or if it's none of those things, take time to reflect and write down, where could it be? Or is it simply the permission to do absolutely nothing? Think about it, because you need one of those. You have to have one of those for yourself. It is key, it is important to have one of those for yourselves. We know that the holidays just don't bring lights, music. They bring pressure, expectations, emotional weight, and the quiet exhaustion that often hide behind the smiles. But you still have to take care of yourself as well. That is important. That's why I wanted to do the self-care through the holidays and do it early enough where you had time to be able to readjust, because there's still time to readjust. And it's important to readjust for yourselves, readjust the rest, but still be able to enjoy, readjust your boundaries, but still make time for silence, readjust how you're nourishing yourself, but still be able to make those connections, but also give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing. It is time for a commercial break. I'll be right back.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Rise refreshed, reclaiming your strength, joy, and power through holiday self-care. Yes, holiday self-care. I am Dr. RC. This is Dare to Soar. That's what the topic of discussion is. As I shared earlier on, I wanted to give some tips talk about boundaries, silence, nourishment, connections, and most of all, rest. But more importantly, it's about self care through the holidays. We can get caught up and doing so much during this time and going and giving, but it's so important to be reflective of ourselves. Not that do taking care of yourself is not important 365 days of the year, but especially during this time of the year because it moves so fast and we're going constantly, consistently. I was giving, share some tips, but also this holiday season, just remember that you are important, you are key. You're not a machine, you're not a resource, you're not a bottomless well. You are a vessel, and you are refilling is not optional as well. It is essential to your purpose, your calling, your leadership, your ability to soar. I want you to remember those things because these are key elements as you continuously take care of yourself. You know, there are three types of self care, and we ignore most because we're human beings. We just do. Oftentimes we are our worst we are the worst individuals to think about caring for ourselves, and it is hard to do that because we are human beings. We feel like we always have time to care for ourselves and do the things that we need to do for ourselves. We often do that until we just begin to put reminders for ourselves or just intentionally be conscientious of doing this. So I just want to give you, so here are three self-care practices people neglect the most during the holidays, and these are true. Emotional self-care, I want to give you that. Checking in with your feelings, oftentimes we don't do that. Giving yourself permission to feel joy and sadness, human nature, we have to give our self permission to do this. Taking breaks uh, from overwhelming environments. Here's a motivational truth: your emotions deserve a home, not hiding places. Your emotions deserve a home and not to hide. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. It's no shame in doing that. Two, boundary, self care, saying no to overcommitment. It's okay to do that. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. Limiting draining conversations. It's okay. Not attending every event out of guilt. Another motivational truth. I love to give motivational truths. I just love to give motivation information as well. No is a self-care strategy, not a rejection. You don't have to feel bad about saying no. It's okay. It is okay to do that. Three, restorative self-care. Get your rest, sleep. Sometimes it's okay to be still and to have quiet moments. It is great to sit with yourself at times. A walk, a drive, silence, reflective moments, motivational truth. Rest is not lazy, it's leadership. It's taking control, taking your power back. It truly is. It's taking your power back. It's okay to take your power back. That power belongs to you and nobody else. Only you know how you feel. Nobody can take that away from you. Then you can have listening and engaging moments. Sometimes it's good to take a moment just to reflect. That's when sometimes those are the moments when the best reflections or ideas or simply sitting with yourself, you'll have those aha moments. What is one thing you need less of this holiday season? Ask yourself that. What is one thing you need less of this holiday season? And what is one thing you need more of? Say it out loud to yourself. Write it down. Declare it. Keep a little notebook to yourself. Nothing wrong with that. So you can go back, and if you write these things down, and sometimes you write so quickly, but you can always go back and read it over again later on. You can do that. There is power in saying no and mean it. It's power in that. You give yourself tips and motivation when you do that. It's your power. You're taking your power. I want to give you a powerful boundary motivational script, if you will, holiday motivational script, if you will. Here it is. I'd love to support, but I cannot take on anything extra right now. Repeat that to yourself, and you can write it down. I'd love to support, but I cannot take on anything extra right now. Here's another one. Thank you for thinking of me, but I need to honor my capacity. Or, I'm choosing peace this season, so I won't be attending. And these are not it's not anything disrespectful. It's how you're feeling. It's humbling as well. But you're still making that connection. You're communicating. You're responding. Motivational points. Here it is. A boundary is it's just a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. You're still linking to the individual or individuals. And you see, every time you're honoring your limits as well, you're honoring your limits. You're honoring your growth as well. So you're not overcommitting yourself. You're not overdoing it because you're having your peace, your rest, and your self-care, which is important. You're taking back your power, your control that you need. And you need that because once again, you can't pour from an empty cup. I want you to always remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. And every time you think about it, you just pull a cup out and you look at that cup. And if there's nothing there, then that's your reminder. That's your reminder. Can't pour from an empty cup. Every time you honor your limits, you honor your growth. It's time for another commercial break. We'll be right back with a little bit more.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Welcome back once again, Eagle family. Yes, this is Dr. RC and this is Dare to Soar. Oh, this hour has gone by so quickly. But as I'm getting ready to come to a close, I want to share with you just a few more things. I want to give you some motivational holiday self-care ideas. First, I want to start off with some doable, 5 powerful, doable self care ideas, if you will. The 10-minute reset. 10-minute reset. The first one is a walk, a stretch, cup of tea, a moment of quietness, or if you're not into tea, you can, whatever your favorite drink, if it's coffee, water, etc., of your choosing. The no phone for 20 minutes rule. Give your brain a break, if you will. Give your brain a break from the world. The one thing that brings me joy ritual. Do one thing that's uplifting every day. That's number 3. For a holiday support circle, identify 2 to 3 people who just feel your spirit. You may have a couple of friends, 2 to 3 people that just absolutely feels your spirit. I mean, that having that conversation, that talk, that chat, Zoom call, etc., that just make you laugh, that conversation that just fills you up, fills your spirit. And then 5, a kindness you give others, give to yourself. Speak to yourself with love and celebration, the kindness you give, just something that just, that celebration that you do for yourself. Those are 5 little things that you can do. A 10-minute reset, a walk, a stretch, a cup of tea, or water, coffee, just doing that. Then there's the no phone call for 20-minute rule. Give your brain a break from the world, or that one thing that brings you joy, ritual. Do one uplifting thing a day. The holiday support circle, doing an uplifting thing. The holiday support, identify 2 to 3 people who just feels your spirit. That's 4. And then 5, the kindness you give to others, give to yourself. Speak to yourself with love and kindness and celebration. And even if you have to kind of put little stickies down, that would be great as well. You see, this season brings joy. It also brings memories as well. Now, we know sometimes that everyone that you may be missing, you think about them. You can do things like put an empty chair there, the holidays. I know for myself, you often hear me talk about my aunt, my Auntie Katie, May Rivers Tyndall. I miss her each and every day. And the holiday time is even more highlighted because that's when I lost her. It was on Christmas Day several years ago. So I miss her every day, but this time is even heightened more than ever. So I do things. I speak her name all the time, but you can light a candle, write a letter, say their name, those type things as well. That would do that for you also. Those are things. As we close out in this season of highlights and reflections beginnings, I want you to remember something powerful. You deserve to rise. Always remember that. You deserve to rise above exhaustion, to rise above guilt as well. You deserve to rise over pressure or being overwhelmed. And you deserve a version of yourself that feels energized, hopeful, and what's ahead. The research is clear. I've shared that with you. Clearer than thinking, deeper. So today, take the first step and invest in you, not out of selfishness, but out of wisdom, because you are wise. Protect your peace. Choose joy. Choose to give yourself the grace that you deserve. And remember, this is Dr. RC. Remind yourself to rise with intention, shine with courage, and always keep daring to soar higher and stronger and refreshed. And never be afraid to elevate to new heights as you spread your wings and dare to soar. One last thing I'd like to share with you all before I go. I just published an article, When They Try to Erase Us. It can be found on the International Journal of Social Work. Please go and download it. It is a wealth of information. When They Try to Erase Us. Go and get it. You will not be disappointed. It's for every social worker. I encourage you to go ahead and download it. It provides history and research, and you all know how to contact me if you have any questions. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Be safe.
This has been Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Come take a ride and soar to your highest level possible each week on Dr. RC's Dare to Soar.